Hello everyone and welcome to a new edition of Today's Youth, and today we will be talking about how to make good decisions and how to benefit from involving youth in decision making. We'll be talking about this and more with our guests here at the studio, but right after this short break. Recognizing and involving youth in a community's decision-making process is about more than engaging young people for the sake of inclusivity. It's about recognizing the measurable benefits youth offer to organizations and whole communities. Youth need meaning, control, and connectedness to thrive in an adult-youth partnership. Youth must feel like they are involved in something important, have a valued say in what happens, and the opportunity to work with other youth and adults in the community. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're glad to be joined here at the studio by Asma Ahmed, Asma Yahya, and Isra El-Fiqi. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
I'll start with you, Asma, and I would like you to tell me about your education and your major field of study.
Well, my name is Asma Yahya. I'm a senior year student in the Faculty of Arts English Department in Al Manafia University. I've chosen this major not only because I love the language itself, but also because I know it would open up my mind to new cultures, and everything I get to know about how other people live their lives absolutely adds up to mine.
Right, Isra?
Yeah, my name is Isra El-Fiqi, and I'm a senior year student at the Faculty of Arts, Manafia University. I also study English literature, and I also chose this field because it's been the most amazing thing I ever wanted to have in my life. So since I was little, I just wanted to learn languages and communicate with people and hopefully teach them to learn it too.
Right, and Asma also, would you tell me more about yourself?
I'm Asma Ahmad. I'm a student at the Faculty of Medicine at Manafia University. I chose this career because I always wanted to be a doctor, and I have Magdi Yaqub as my role model all my life. So
you have Sir Magdi Yaqub as your role model.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Right, taking a decision is one of the issues discussed by President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi at one of the youth conferences. And of course, we would like you to tell us how do you see yourself as part of the youth taking a decision? What's the importance of decision making to you?
Well, decision making is something that you should prepare yourself for really good. That you first on a spiritual level, you ask your God for guidance, and you pray to see how things work, and you ask Him to lead you to the right path. Then you ask your family, you ask your friends, you ask some people who are experts in the field specifically, and you ask them for their guidance, and then you think of all the points in front of you, and you just figure things out together, and you decide something.
Right. Asma, would you tell me how do you take decisions normally?
Well, normally I just I weigh my options by writing down the pros and cons of each choice, and then I go ask maybe two or three of my family and friends. It depends totally on the topic, and then I add their opinions to the list, and then I have to choose the choice that I can live with its consequences.
Asma, I want your opinion also about taking decisions. How do you usually take a decision? Do you usually consult your parents, your family members, or your friends more?
I surely consult my parents and some of my friends that I trust, but I put in consideration only how I feel about the subject I'm trying to have to decide about. So my instincts lead me to the solution usually, and I find my family really supportive about what I think.
Right. Isra, did you ever take a decision and then you realized that it was not the right decision and you want to change your mind about it? And how did you deal with such a situation?
Well, up till now, actually, luckily, it didn't happen before. But I live by this golden rule that you should expect that anything can happen. And even the things that you prepared for, even the things that you know like they are going to happen perfectly, sometimes they don't work out. So you have to be flexible enough to know how to deal with things. So you have to know that even if things don't go the way you planned them to be, you should adapt to the situation. That's it.
Right. I would like also to know, both of you, Asma and Asma, did you ever take a decision and you change your mind about it?
I surely did, and when I change my mind, I usually take the right decision after it. But also I make wrong decisions a lot. But I simply think that also the wrong decisions lead to a good thing, because you learn from them. You learn not to do them again.
Right. Asma, did you ever take a decision and you changed your mind about it after that?
It happens a lot actually, and I think it's very normal. I don't think anything should make me feel bad about it. So it's totally fine, and I just accept that I've made a mistake, and then I move on.
You move on. Right. Did you think that there's a certain criteria, or do you think, I mean, there's a certain criteria for taking decisions, especially important ones that might affect your life and future, Isra?
Yes, I think that you should really take your time thinking about it very well, and you plan for it. You collect enough data you want for knowing more knowledge about the things that you're applying for, or so on. And then you ask people who are really experts in the field, and you seek guidance from people around you, and then you just think of it really well and go for it.
Asma, it is said that we should teach our children how to take decisions since a very early age, like choosing what to eat or what to wear, what to dress, what toys do they want to buy. So how do you see this?
I see this perfect, because when you teach a child to take his own decisions from an early year, he becomes capable of making a big decisions in the future, and so he will be a better performing member of the community somehow.
Right. Asma, some of the main issues to think about when taking a decision is to determine where's the problem first, and then what is the goal you want to reach. So tell me, what path do you follow when you want to take a decision?
Well, you have first to think of the problem itself. What are the consequences? How it will change your life. You have to take all of this into consideration and think about it very well.
Right. As we are starting a new academic year, some students did not realize what they wanted, like in ثانوية scores, and they had to go to a college that they were not planning to go to initially. How do you think this is a situation that could lead to good or bad consequences? Do you think that if I plan to go to the Faculty of Medicine and then I don't realize what I wanted, then I go to the Faculty of Commerce, for example, does this mean that I'm not going to be a successful person?
Not at all. In fact, every decision you make, or you don't have any part of making it anyway, it turns out to be good eventually. And I think it's not the end when you decide to do something and it didn't work out. It will turn out to be good for you more than you thought at first.
Right. Well, we'll just go to a short break now and we'll be right back.
قررت أن يكون العام 2016 عاما للشباب المصري. أصدرت حزمة من القرارات والتوجيهات: إطلاق البرنامج الرئاسي لتأهيل الشباب للقيادة، انطلاق مشروع بنك المعرفة المصري، دعم وتنمية المشروعات الصغيرة والمتوسطة، تخفيف أعباء خدمة القروض عن كاهل الشباب المصري، انتهاء من تنفيذ بناء 145 ألف وحدة سكنية بالإسكان الاجتماعي للشباب خلال عام 2016، تحديث المناهج التعليمية لجميع المراحل الدراسية، التوسع في النشاط الرياضي والارتفاع بمستوى اللياقة البدنية للشباب المصري، إحياء دور قصور الثقافة وإقامة المسابقات الفنية، إطلاق منتدى للحوار مع الشباب، مؤتمر وطني للشباب يعقد بمدينة شرم الشيخ خلال شهر سبتمبر القادم. لا تتخلوا عن تجربتكم، تمسكوا بوطنكم، تمسكوا بالأخلاق وصحيح الدين، تسلحوا بالعلم وواكبوا العصر، وبقوة شبابها ستحيا مصر، تحيا مصر، تحيا مصر.
Welcome back, and back to my guests here at the studio, the students, the three students, Asma, and Isra. And still with our talk about decision making, and about also, I would like to move on to the importance the Egyptian leadership is giving to the youth. The year 2016 was declared as the year of the youth. How do you think this as an important step towards giving youth more significance and more importance in our society?
I think that actually youth are the future and basically the present. So when we give them this kind of support and we rely on them, and yeah, we were just talking about decision making. So when we involve them in making important decisions and making them strong and independent, and they can face the future without fearing it, and yeah, they can be really good citizens in the future.
Right. Asma, I would like to ask you now, as we've just mentioned, the year 2016 was declared as the year of the youth. How do you assess the attention given by the Egyptian leadership to the youth in Egypt? How positive is the impact of this on the Egyptian youth?
Well, I think it's very great that they really have accomplished some things with youth, and they listen to them in conferences, and it gives them confidence in themselves and encourages them to make decisions and so on. So I think it's great, and I think they should go on with this.
Right. Asma, what does the youth expect from their country, and what do they expect in return?
They expect attention from the country, and
what do they give in return?
They expect attention, as I said, and they expect a vital role that they take part in the very sensitive issues the country goes through, and the country should expect hard work in return, to expect them to really work their best in whatever major they are in, not to get desperate of the situations or the events I guess that's it.
Right. How did you follow the youth conferences? A number of youth conferences were held here in Egypt. One in Sharm el-Sheikh, another one in Aswan, another one in Ismailia. How did you follow these conferences that took place and their impact on the youth, Isra?
Yeah, I watched them on the internet, and yeah, I followed what they were discussing and things they are offering for youth. And yeah, I think this really should go on, and because there's always more that we can offer. So.
Right. How did you follow the youth conferences?
On TV, and it was exciting, and I really loved that they are giving more attention to the youth, and I really think that this should continue in the future, and it will improve them. It will improve the youth and make them know that they are a vital part in our community.
Right. Asma, how do you see the impact of youth conferences being held every now and then on the youth? Do you see a positive impact?
Yeah, I guess, you know, they had this event in Nufia about the week of the youth, and you can see the students we know from college. They were so happy connecting with others from different governments, and it was very great actually. They were happy. They were feeling as if they're really having a great role, and I think it's just
right. Well, Asma now spoke about the week of the youth at Minofia University. Would you tell me more about it, Isra?
Well, it was held that people from around the governments gathering together in our university, and there were actually a concert held by the famous singer Tamer Hosni, and they showed some sports. The sports team were gathering together and making shows and making performances in front of people, and they were going out in the streets and wearing costumes and doing some activities together. It was really good.
So it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
Right. Well, there's an upcoming international youth conference that will take place soon here in Egypt. How important is gathering youth from different countries around the world together in one place?
It's very important to share the cultures of the different youth around the country and the world. So it will make them connect together. It will make them know different knowledge about different stuff.
Asma, how do you see the significance of gathering youth from other countries and being together here in Egypt?
Well, I think it's great that the event is taking place in Egypt, and I also think that we all get inspired by each other, and this is really important. I mean, someone may be just talking in a very normal way, and then you get ideas from them. You start to change your whole life based on just an idea that occurred in front of you.
Isra, did you ever get together with students from other countries? I mean, did you ever get the chance to mingle with people your age, other youth your age?
My age, no, but yeah,
from different countries.
Yeah,
I mean.
I just met someone before from the U.S., but he wasn't my age. But yeah, but it was really good.
How important is this? I mean, you know other people's cultures and traditions and experiences.
I think it's really essential, and I think that actually the rule of the internet now, this connects the world together, and so it even gives you this privilege that if you don't manage to travel or someone comes to you, you can have your friends from around the globe. So I think, yeah, it's really good because you learn about different cultures, you learn about different ideologies, you learn about different religions and different ways of thinking. So yeah, you take, it's like you spend a lot of time in a really short amount of time, you just make it short.
Right. As we're approaching a new academic year, what are your plans for this year? What are you planning to achieve during this new academic year?
Of course, I plan to study, and I'm also planning to continue doing the hobbies I love, I like drawing and painting.
Right.
So,
Tell me more about your hobbies.
I do paint with watercolors, acrylic painting on canvases and stuff like that, and I like different ways of drawing. I also play sports, so I will continue playing them even this year. I used to play karate, and now I'm playing basketball. So I will just continue doing that.
So you have hobbies in sports and in arts.
Yeah.
What about you, Isra?
Well, yeah, I play tennis, and I'm just still a beginner, but yeah, this is what I'm intending to master it this year. And since it's my last year in my college, so I want to live it to the most, and just make the most of it and really enjoy it and have fun. And of course, yeah, I want to have the best grades I can and work hard as I can.
Right. Asma, I would like to know more about your hobbies.
I actually love writing. I'm sort of good when it comes to expressing ideas and emotions and so on. So I'm trying to work on this, my writing skills, and I think it just needs a little bit of reading before I get into writing. So I'm also trying this beside trying to get high grades and taking courses and so on.
Right. Well, I will get back to writing because you have this hobby of writing, which is a very interesting hobby, but right after this short break.
الدولة الوحيدة اللي واقفة على حيلها انتم. قد يكون في أخطاء، قلت لكم المشكلة كبيرة، والمشكلة دي أنا مش هقدر عليها لوحدي، لكن نقدر عليها كلنا. دوري عملته، بس دوركم انتوا دلوقتي. لما طلبتوني لقيتوني، ولم أبخل عليكم بحياتي. جه الدور عليكم وانتوا وعدتوني انكم هتقفوا جنبي. الإصلاح بياخد وقت طويل، ولازم نعترف ان ال6 سنين اللي فاتوا ان احنا دولة ظروفها صعبة. تحيا مصر مش بالكلام.
مفيش أي حل تاني غير إن احنا نشتغل.
إن شاء الله في 18 هسلمكم 1350 مشروع.
شايفة مستقبل أولادي، مستقبل أجيال كتيرة جاية في مصر.
نقدر نعمل أكتر من كده، نقدر نجتهد، نقدر نعمل حاجات كتير في أرضنا.
ما تتخلوش عن بالكم، أنا اخترت الطريق الصعب. أنتوا اللي هتحددوا مصير مستقبل مصر بقوة شبابها.
Welcome back, everyone, and back to you, Asma. You were talking to me about writing. You have a hobby or an interest in writing. Would you tell me more about this? Are you writing articles? Are you planning to be a journalist?
No, it's actually all about writing articles, because you have this idea you get inspired by someone, for instance, and you want to clear your head from all of the different ideas. So I use writing in this. Actually, it's very beneficial, and it's very amusing when you're writing, and that's it. So it's articles.
Right. Well, I would like to know finally, what are your plans and your dreams for the future? How are you planning for the future? I will start with you, Isra.
Okay, I want to become, after I just graduate, I want to continue my postgraduate studies so that I can hopefully pursue the dream of becoming a professor. And I'm going to take courses and trainings to become a simultaneous interpreter.
Okay, right. What about you, Asma?
I really want to have a sort of equilibrium between being a doctor and still doing my hobbies. I want to open a boutique of my own, and I really want to be a psychiatrist in the future.
You want to be a psychiatrist?
Yes.
Right. What about you, Asma?
Well, I'm looking forward to being a translator one day. It kind of suits my personality because I'm not a very social person. So, and beside this, yes, I'm going to try to master this writing thing.
How do you see the role of this educational stage in your life?
In my studies, this is the year we start our clinical studies. So I think it's a very important stage right now. So I have to work hard and focus.
How far do you think these years of studying your educational years formulates your personality in the future?
Oh God, I think they formulate like most of your personality, because just the moment you enter the college, you just become another person. You blend in with your friends and your professors, and you take experience from here and there. You make memories, and you just have fun, and yeah, learn a lot about something that you were passionate about in the first place. So you got in and learned about it. So yeah.
What about the relationship between students and their professors?
Well,
How important is this relation?
Actually, it's very important. It makes you, so if you have some sort of a subject, and it all depends on the professor. If they are being nice to all of us, then I guess it makes you more able to understand what they are saying, and it encourages you to participate with them. And I guess we have pretty good professors.
Right, Asma, Ahmad, Asma, Yahya, and Isra El-Fayi, thank you very much for joining us, and all the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Well, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, our dear viewers, thank you very much for joining us, and don't forget to join us next week, same time. Till then, it's goodbye.